Chaos Demons. It is Amy Harbor, and welcome to the Tortured Sports Fans Department. We took a little week off for New Year's unintentionally. Why? Because I decided to come down with the flu. Yes, that's right. The flu. Awful. Horrible. But like Michael Jordan with the flu game, we're going to push through. I'm on like day 7 of the flu now. I am much better. I had like no voice, running like 102-degree fever, running on adrenaline on New Year's Day. We'll get into that. Anyway, my favorite segment of the whole podcast. I love you. It's ruining my life. Yes, how my teams are torturing me. Cleveland Guardians, I'm still mad at you. Still very much mad at you over this Josh Naylor trade. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over it. I mean, sure, now we're getting to like the, nitty-gritty of, we're like a month and a half away from pitchers and catchers reporting, and I'm still mad. My soccer teams, up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, Aston Villa is 8th in the EPL. They're 5th in the Champions League. It's like, do you want to be good at the your actual league, or do you want to be good in the, Champions League? I don't know. I mean, it's just like a roller coaster. Same with Wrexham. They're in number 3 spot. Right now it'd be a playoff, That being said, being sick, I haven't been getting out of bed. I'm not getting up at 7:30 to watch soccer when, I'm barely functioning. The one that's really made me mad, though, is the frickin' Miami Dolphins. The torture continues. These assholes haven't been to a Super Bowl, and I'm going to age myself. These assholes haven't been to a Super Bowl since I was like 10. They haven't been to an AFC championship since I was like 19. And they haven't won a playoff game since I was 26. Do the math. Google is free. I'm just pissed. You've got Tua on the freaking sideline in shades. I'm like, dude, it's winter. You're in New York. You don't need the sunglasses. You got Tyreek imploding, putting his head on Antonio Brown's body, but now the GM and the coach are saying that he doesn't want to be traded, but he's saying, no, bro, I'm out. I get it. It was in the heat of the emotions of losing the game. First time he's ever not made the playoffs. Dude, you don't know how good you had it in Kansas City. You now playing on a cursed field. This team is a fucking mess. And not even like, I don't know, an hour after the game, you got old man Ross saying, well, we're going to stick with Greer and McDaniel. I'm okay sticking with McDaniel. You can only work with the parts that you're given. But Chris Greer has got to fucking go. This is like Jeff Ireland 2.0. It's a fucking mess. And is Mike McDaniel hitting the bottle? I mean, I know I shouldn't joke about someone's sobriety, but like the game against I think it was the 49ers, he throws 2 challenges practically in a row. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Clearly, like he thought that this catch was a fumble or something. It was clear it was like an incomplete pass. And I'm like, what are you doing? And Kansas City and all you other teams that rested your starters, we need to do something about the tanking and the resting of starters. I understand that you locked up, and you shouldn't. Also, other teams shouldn't have to rely on other teams to make the playoffs. You should just do your business and get it done. However, the tanking has got to stop. The resting players when other teams' playoff implications, it's got to stop. I mean, I don't know if you need to go to a weighted lottery or what to make it happen, but that game against Kansas City and Denver was a mess. And yeah, I mean, Dolphins didn't carry their business. You shouldn't be losing to teams like New England and Arizona. But come on, just do something about the tanking and the sitting. Then there's the whole Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl. I understand it's a popularity contest, but there's no way Travis Kelce, having like his worst season ever, should be going in over Jonnu Smith. He just shouldn't. The fact that the Dolphins have no Pro Bowlers is a crime. Are they that good? No. Did they have some players that had good seasons? Yes. Did they have some players that had Pro Bowl worthy seasons? Yes. Moving on. The Blue Jackets. They are what they are. But they are 500, around 500. And they whipped the piss out of Boston. And it just makes me say, what if? What if Johnny Gaudreau was still alive? And this is what I need to know. Is the guy who ran him over, is that guy still in jail? Or is he out on bail waiting trial? Because if he's still in jail, I want to know what jail he's in. Because, and I have to ask, am I an asshole in this? I want to mail this guy like a letter or a postcard every time the Blue Jackets lose, just to remind him what he took from us. Just to remind him, like, hey, guess what? Blue Jackets lost. Am I that asshole? I mean, if I am, you can tell me I'm that asshole. Be like, Amy, you're being an asshole. But I feel like, if we collectively as Blue Jackets fans just mail this guy some mail, because remember, he's the one that rolled his eyes at the judge when he found out he was going to have to stay in jail a few more days because it was a holiday when the accident happened. Just want to know. Just asking for a friend. The Cavs. Cavs are not torturing me. My Cavaliers. If you're just listening to this, I'm wearing my Cavs hat and I'm just rubbing it. It's my NBA champs hat. My nails are also Cavs colors. Kind of they're like this gold with yellow with gold glitter. But yeah, there's no torturing unless you're an unfortunate soul who attempted me versus Nuggets. If you don't know what me versus Nuggets is, hashtag me versus Nuggets, just Google. Google is free, my friends. If you did participate in me versus Nuggets, I think it was the Friday before Christmas or the Friday after Christmas, and you ate 136 chicken nugs and you're still alive, please let me know because I would love to talk to you. I would love to just know what that's like. Let me know that you're still alive. Maybe also reach out to a gastroenterologist. But anyway, how can you be tortured when your basketball team is 31-4? Beat the Nuggets, destroyed the Warriors, beat the Lakers, beat the Mavs. Yet Donovan Mitchell is 8th on the MVP ladder, and LaMelo Ball is leading him in All-Star voting? Like, what is going on here? Why are you sleeping on the Cavs, people? Like, I understand it's a popularity contest. And also, does anyone know why the Cavs frog is now the Win Froggy? Like, was there a trademark thing, a licensing thing going on there? Is the frog expanding? I haven't seen the frog lately. So I need to know what's going on with the frog. Someone let me know. Also, Ohio State. Ohio State. Ooh. Okay, let's basketball first. Last night, that basketball game versus Minnesota, I swear to God, it was like 5 hours long. It went to double overtime. I was like, college basketball is mind numbing until you get to like March. And like, it's just 50 to 49 games. Like, that's the score. Like, there's horrible shooting. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't watched a lot of college basketball lately, but there's that. Uh, I don't even. But anyway, it was a great game. It was a great game. They're 2-2 in the Big Ten. Do I think that they're going to be a bubble team? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it's up and down. Like, you'll beat Kentucky, and then they'll get blown out by Michigan State. It's up and down. Is what it is this year. It's Diebler's first year. I'm not expecting big things. Let's move on to football, though. Again, if you're not watching the video, you're just listening. I am wearing my Ohio State shirt that just says the, and the period is just a Buckeye symbol, Buckeye leaf symbol. Belt to fucking ass. Oh, now I do appreciate that the Oregon fans were not running their mouths like Tennessee fans. Oregon fans, you are awesome. I have always appreciated the Oregon fans. The Duck and the Buckeye, they are adorable. Like, seriously, like 1 and 2 there for the Big Ten mascots. I still need to rank the Big Ten mascots. And I said I was going to do it, and I haven't done it. But Ryan Day knew that his job was on the freaking line, and he delivered. He freaking delivered. I am just beyond freaking giddy. I was sick as a dog. Did not know I had the flu at the time. And I had my Rose Bowl shirt from 2010, and it has the score on the back, but I covered it up with tape. And I was just having somebody update it, like right on the tape that was on my back, the score. I literally ran out of pink tape. I had to switch over to gray tape. So there is that. But I was very impressed. I was like, okay, bring on Bevo. We're eating the dogs. We're eating duck. Everything's on the fucking menu. I will say I would rather play, like, if we're going to go to the Natty, I would rather play Notre Dame than Penn State. I would love to have the matchup of the 2012 Natty that we should have had, that we were denied because we self-imposed. Let's be honest, it would have been more competitive than Alabama Notre Dame. I mean, Ohio State would have won because Notre Dame was highly overrated that year, but you know, I don't have a time machine. So speaking of Ohio State, the band girl one of the girls in the band went viral because she was crying. And let me just say, if you've never played a sport, never played like an activity, especially in college, and you know it's your last time on that court or field, it's very emotional. My last college tennis match, I was bawling for like an hour afterwards. Anyway, there is a Netflix documentary coming out on the Ohio State band, and I'm so excited to see it. I hope she's a part of it. Yeah. So I spent Christmas in Detroit. It was like a last minute thing. And my cousin is taking me to the train station to come back to Chicago. And there's this guy on like their ESPN radio or whatever. He's called JT the Brick. Okay, first off, can we talk about this name, JT the Brick? Like, he was whining about Taylor Swift. Can we get the fuck over this? I mean, can we please get over this? He's whining about her dating Kelsey and people becoming Chiefs fans and the Chiefs winning and girls becoming bandwagon football fans. It was some of the most sexist, disgusting stuff They've heard in a while. I was like fuming in the back seat going, taking notes, going to talk about this guy. If you live in Detroit, I would love to know some more about this guy because he seems like a real winner. Dude, grow up. Grow up. It's 2025. Girls like sports. Get over it. Um, Pop-Tarts Bowl. Yes. This is the best bowl. This is the best bowl. It's like losing my mind. Everything. Sprinkles on the sideline. Pop-Tarts commented on my Instagram. Like I was saying, my clip from like a couple weeks ago from I think episode 2 of the podcast here. We had zombie frosted strawberry, cinnamon roll went into the big toaster in the sky or whatever. It was glorious. I don't even remember much of the game, but it was beautiful. Like, oh, just make this one of the playoff games. In fact, make the Rose Bowl the national championship. Make the Pop-Tarts Bowl a semifinal and make the Mayo Bowl a semifinal. That would just be freaking awesome. The flu cough caught me. That would just be freaking awesome. The Mayo Bowl is a semifinal. Somebody's getting mayo dumped on them. The other semifinals, Pop-Tarts. Somebody's eating Pop-Tarts. I mean, somebody gets the short end of the stick there, but yeah, I think that's what needs to happen. I don't need the Cotton Bowl or the Peach Bowl or the whatever bowl as the semifinal. I need those two as the semifinal, and then just give me the Rose Bowl as the granddaddy of them all. I don't know why I just got balloons there, but cool. Awesome. Oh, because someone joined the live. Yay. But yeah, that's what I need for the bowl. Speaking of bowl, Michigan fans, no one gives a shit about your bowl. No one cares. I know you have main character syndrome. And this is how I know you have main character syndrome. You comment on things that are not even related to you. The amount of Michigan commenters that I've had on posts between Ohio State and Tennessee, Notre Dame's game, Ohio State, Oregon, it's not all about you. It's literally not all about you. You have main character syndrome. But I will say, if your bowl game is at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, like yours was, you're playing in the nobody gives a shit bowl. You are absolutely, and I don't care that Tuesday is a New Year's Eve. That means that even more people are sleeping in because they're going to be out later that night. No one gives a shit about your bowl. And I'm looking at you, Michigan and Alabama. But seriously, why do you have to come in with 0-4, 0-4? Guess what? You're not in the playoff. It's not about you. This is between like Michigan. This is between like Ohio State and Oregon fans or Ohio State and Tennessee fans. It's not about you. I know that you have very deep main character syndrome, but maybe work on that in 2025. And also some things that should probably be worked on in 2025. Oh, it's so bad. I live here in Chicago. It's so bad. Chicago sports teams here get on national TV and they become the frog from the Looney Tunes. Hello, my baby, hello. But then when you turn on the national camera, it just sits there and ribbit, 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 ribbit. I mean, first the Bears were on Thursday Night Football, and it was the most god-awful game. It was like the day after Christmas. I know because I was coming home from Detroit, and my train came in just as all the Chicago fans that were going back out to the suburbs were coming to Union Station to catch their trains, and they looked miserable. One guy was like kicking a trash can. Another guy's over in fetal position crying. I was like, oh my God, was it that bad? And I looked at the score and I was like, oh God, this is awful. Then followed by the Blackhawks getting destroyed on national TV by the Sabres, and then doubling down with the Winter Classic, which was also like a drubbing. I mean, these teams are fucking over Chicago harder than Mrs. O'Leary's cow. Chicago fans haven't seen a beating this bad since Jose Ramirez sent Tim Anderson to the Shadow Realm. Like, it's just awful. I feel for you guys. And I say that wearing a Cleveland hat. It's just awful. I mean, I don't know what needs to happen for these Chicago teams. Well, I do know kind of what needs to happen. Any coach in the world, any quarterback in the world is not going to fix the Bears. The Bears' problem is that they need to sell the team. Your owner is like the new Al Davis, like the Crypt Keeper. Isn't she like 100 damn years old or something? I don't know, but it's bad. The Blackhawks have their own bad karma. They need to, I don't know, settle all their lawsuits. We'll get into that later. I might actually have a guest from one of those. So, I don't want this podcast to be an hour long, so we're going to move on. Let me go through my best of 2024 because I had a fun sports 2024. Other than being sick, which I might have to cough again. Nope, false alarm. I went to the Women in Sports Conference in Boston, which is actually, where the seed got planted to create this podcast. If you're not getting enough opportunities on your own, create your own opportunities. It took me, 9 months later to do it. I went to the Patriots Day game, Boston versus Cleveland. Recursed Mike Clevenger and the White Sox, and then he had a season-ending injury. I'm not saying that I'm a witch, but I'm just saying maybe don't do bad stuff. London series, Mets, Phillies. That was awesome watching baseball in London. Tim Anderson was completely out of baseball. I'm not convinced that Jose Ramirez himself is not a warlock or something because he literally knocked the fucking baseball out of Tim Anderson's body completely. Awful. If you can avoid this flu, don't catch it. We had the City Connect jerseys for Cleveland. I went to Comerica for the first time. Detroit, you have yourself a great ballpark. I would put it at number 3 behind Progressive and Great American. That's Cleveland and Cincinnati. It was my first time at American Family Field in Milwaukee. I did discover that Hank the dog is still alive. If you don't know who Hank the dog is, that's the dog that they found in spring training like 15 years ago. Somehow that dog's still alive. Yeah. And it was also Hedgie's birthday. We sang happy birthday to Austin Hedges. It was awesome. We had the White Sox losing streak and the return of Grady's ladies. Enjoyed that. I also had the White Sox calling me. I don't know if they're trying to sell me tickets or if they're aware of the hex. And I just want to be like, is this about the curse? Like, should I call them back and be like, is this about the curse? I had a chance meeting with Jason Kipnis on the streets of Chicago. That is definitely a highlight of 2024. The Guardians in the playoffs, hexing the Yankees, which that's coming to fruition. I mean, the Yankees are a mess. They're going to be a mess. We had my viral videos. The Cavs are surprisingly good. Overall, pretty decent 2024. I was quite happy. Sports-wise, I could have been better with the Dolphins. Why did you have to blow it on the last week? But I'm still impressed that, going from 2-6 to still being alive in week 18. Not complete disappointment. Goals for 2025 besides growing this awesome podcast that I hope you're listening to. It's not ego, I'm just that good. I would love to knock off some more ballparks. My goal is to go to all the ballparks. I've been to all the West Coast ones except San Fran. They've never home when I'm on the West Coast. Never home. I would love to do New St. Louis. I did Old St. Louis like 30 years ago or something. I would love to do KC. I know it's hard to get to KC unless you have a car. So, and I haven't been back to Cleveland since like 2019. And I would love to get back to Cleveland. I would love to get some more guests on this podcast. If you would like to be a guest, I am putting together a Google form. You can fill it out. You just have to tell me why you're a Tortured Sports fan. And then we have our secret mission to Ann Arbor. And I'm going to do something so heinous. It might get me beat up. I might need bail money. I don't know. It's just, I have a secret mission that I need to do in Ann Arbor because desperate times call for desperate measures. And yeah, hopefully, though, my other goal is hopefully celebrating a natty for the Ohio State. So I appreciate all of you for listening. Yes, my Christmas tree is still up if you're watching the video. It'll probably still be up until February. Why? Because, I mean, it's awesome. It's a lot of work to put it up. I feel like leaving it up for more than a month. Yeah, so those are the goals. Get back to Cleveland. I really want to get to a Cavs game. I've never been to a home Cavs game. So there's another goal for 2025. Anyway, that's this week's episode of the Tortured Sports Fans Department. As always, find me on Twitter, Blue Sky. We're at Amy Harbor. That's HARBER. Or at TSFD Pod. That's Twitter X Blue Sky. Instagram, we're at Amy D Harbor because someone stole my name. Actually, no, I just didn't get on Instagram until 2015. Or at Tortured Sports Fans Department, but department is shortened. So it's Tortured Sports Fans Dep on Instagram. TikTok, it's at Amy Harbor, HARBER. And YouTube, it's YouTube Amercat. Please follow along. And if you want to be a guest, leave a comment. We can talk about anything sports. It'll be awesome. I do have some exciting guests lined up for 2025. Just a matter of timing. So until next time, my little aliens and chaos demons, take care, and I will see you next time.